Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about underrated horror movies, specifically movies in my collection. I didn't pick any from the internet or any that I haven't seen, obviously. So all these I've seen, and all these are underrated, and definitely a couple in here are definitely niche titles that I could see only a few people wanting to get their hands on. So yeah, let's get started. Here we go. We got Tucker and Dale versus Evil. This is just the standard Blu-ray. I don't even think there's a DVD in here. No. They have a Blu-ray or 4K Steelbook for this that I want to get my hands on, but for right now, this is what we're working with here. But when you think of horror comedies, typically you think of like a haunted house or a scary movie or something like that, but nobody ever brings up, except for the only people I've ever heard bring this movie up when it comes to horror comedies is my dad and my brother, and they introduced me to this gem, and it is highly recommended by me and by my whole family. I assure you that you need to get Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Dang, man. Chest pain. I don't know. Whatever. This next one is a Rooster Teeth movie. So this is back in their prime here when they had budget, they had money. I think they're out of that. But Bloodfest. This is a slasher film set at a festival. And basically the kids are trying, there's like a group of kids and they're trying to survive and get to the exit before they're killed off entirely. It's basically this guy's trying to make the scariest movie of all time, but in order for something to be really scary, the guy's idea of fear is just actually scaring the shit out of people. But yeah, so this has like Zachary Levi. What's that other dude's name, man? Tate Donovan. So Tate Donovan from Spider-Man and freaking, oh no, I forgot his name all of a sudden. Zachary Levi, yeah. They're in there. It's a good time. It's a good time. This next one was kind of successful at one point, but I feel like it died off. I haven't heard anybody talk about it since this Blu-ray came out. And I wasn't even around for that, so I didn't even hear that. So I kind of just assume now it's kind of like almost a dead movie. And I got it at FYE the other day. It's Silent Hill. This is a classic. It's a very fun movie, I would say. I wouldn't say it's like realistic to the game, because obviously the main character is not a woman in the first game, so I'm not really sure where they were going with this. It's been a minute since I've seen this, but I do remember it being really good, and I remember really wanting it in my collection after I saw Shout Factory had it. So I got Silent Hill, and I am glad to own it and watch it eventually, probably here soon. Alright, so this next title, when you think of Bruce Campbell, you think of Evil Dead. Straight up. Generally, you think of Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, whatever. But a lot of people's second go-to thought is Bubba Ho-Tep. I love Bubba Ho-Tep, not as much as I love the Evil Dead movies, but I do love Bubba Ho-Tep. I think it's a good one. I think it's hilarious, the fact that they're kind of just stuck on these, they're stuck, like, Bruce Campbell stuck with a walker, and Ozzie Davis is stuck on a motorized wheelchair. And, first off, that's the cover art, like the poster art, and I think it looks really nice. But yeah, so Bruce Campbell thinks he's Elvis, and Ozzie Davis thinks he's John F. Kennedy. Every time I say it, it just makes me laugh hysterically. It's so funny. The whole movie, though, is just fantastic. I love it. I think it's hilarious. Alright, and this next one, I don't know why it's underrated, okay? And some people are gonna look at me and be like, really? You're kidding, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm being dead serious. I went and I spent my hard-earned money for this movie that so far everybody seems to just want to shit on. I'm like, why? These are good movies here. These are good little stinkers. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I know, I hear it already. People just literally losing it, freaking out. They're like, you like this movie? What are you, some type of weirdo? Some type of freak or something? I don't know. I don't know if I like this guy anymore. I think I'll just hit the unsubscribe button. Don't do that, but basically what I'm saying is this movie is a classic, and in the future, everybody will love it, and they'll be happy to have it. They'll be happy they bought this, the people who did. And it'll probably still be available when you realize that, so there you go. This next one, this is a very niche film. I don't see a lot of people going out of their way to get this. I don't even think it's still available, but if you could get it from the owner of the property, because it's a SOV film, so you could probably just contact the guy and get a copy. But it's The Corn Shucker. My boy Rob W hooked me up with this, got me onto the SOV genre here, and this is just great. This guy, one word is I know, and it's I mean, like, I see why people wouldn't like it, but at the same time, it's just a really good freaking movie. It's probably out there with like one of the best SOVs, I would say. I mean, for the budget they had and the amount of extras they had, it was crazy. And the fact that they shot this film with no budget at all. They just literally picked up a camera, was like, hey, let's just go shoot some random shit, basically. They went to the woods, and this release specifically has some great special features that'll make you have an even bigger appreciation for the SOV genre. And it's only an hour and 3 minutes, so I mean, not really wasting too much time on that. So the next one on the film is an underrated found footage movie. Every time, you know, Paranormal Activity, Blair Witch Project, Grave Encounters, you know, stuff like that. A lot of grand releases here, and I still don't have some of the ones that I just found out existed, but this one is one of the first, or the first, found footage horror movie ever created. It is the McPherson Tape. That is a whoa, man. I'm tired. I'm sorry. The McPherson Tape. That is a classic. That is a classic to the horror genre. This release specifically, I don't think it's available still, but I think it went off after that last sale. But yeah, no, the McPherson Tape is basically just uncut video footage from the Northwoods, Connecticut UFO case 77, and it was a movie that actually was used by NASA to make people think that aliens existed because of how realistic that video footage looked at the time. Now it kind of just looks like a bunch of kids dressed up as aliens now, because that's exactly what it actually was. Move those back so you can't see them. So this next one, I can already, the screaming, it won't stop. It won't stop happening. It's endless. Yeah, but this next one is Skinamarink. Now I know in the stream I did with Rob W, I didn't even put this in the top 5 best, or I put this in the top 5 worst, but I just didn't have another slot to perform in there, and they kept switching up the rules at the end, trying to make me feel like shit about it. But I mean, I love this movie, honestly. I mean, it's not something I'm gonna go back and watch all the time. It's not rewatchable at all, really. I mean, if you come back to it like once a year, maybe, or like on the anniversary of this video's release, I come back and watch this movie. Like, that's how I would want to do it. But for the price, anyways, it was a no-brainer to pick this up rather than the DVD. So yeah, I got Skinamarink with the Blu-ray Steelbook, and I am freaking glad I did, because I respect this film a lot more than a lot of other people do. A lot of people give this film hate, and they need to stop. They need to stop. Get some help. And this next one is just an all-time classic to me. I think if you don't like this movie, you don't like yourself, to be honest. Sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, alright? But it is Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Oh, wow. It's Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Look at this artwork, man. Like, how can you pass this up? This movie is underappreciated. I had to pull this bad boy out because I genuinely love this film, and I genuinely hate the interior of this release entirely. I hate the fact that this is all white. I mean, all green. Like, they did nothing with it. There's all that on the back. It's like, whatever. Yeah, so I am a huge fan of Jeepers Creepers Reborn, and I think it's a cute little stinker that everybody should get their hands on and watch. Jeepers Creepers Reborn, a must watch. Next up on the list is Super 8, the 4K Steelbook here. I'm pulling out like the best version of the releases I have, just so I have something cool to show off. Because I'm like that. Yeah, but this movie was, I'm pretty sure, was a big hit when it came out, but I feel like it's lost that that fan base of Super 8 fans. I mean, I went back and I rewatched this. The 4K disc on this release is broken for some odd reason, but I did watch the digital copy, and I thought this movie was freaking fire. This movie was actually really good. And I highly recommend more people watch this. If this video helps you realize that this movie exists, then I'm glad I could help you. Don't waste any more time. Check this movie out, for sure. Alright, and this one right here, when you think of found footage, what do you think of? Paranormal Activity, The Blair Witch Project, Wreck, Quarantine, stuff, Grave Encounters, again, that's what you think about, but you never think about La Possession d'Alter, 1974, is what I call it, because that's much easier, 1974, but look at that artwork on the back. I'm actually terrified, gonna pee myself, and then I just kind of use this artwork again. This is another really good, European fan film, or not fan film, found footage film. It's, what, I forget where this is set, but basically it's just in a different language. It's in Spanish, yeah. It's in Spanish, but to me, one of the greatest of all time. If you haven't seen this, you'll love it. You'll love it. I'll just go ahead and say that right now. And if you get this release, you get this art card, that whatever that is, and you get more art. And then you get the original soundtrack and the Blu-ray of La Possession d'Alter. So don't wait on this. I don't know if it's still available. If it is, lucky you. Go ahead and get yourself a copy. I mean, this movie's definitely better than some of the stuff they've been putting out recently. So, that's gonna do it all for today. I was really excited that I got to like 12 minutes on this video and could have ended it if I didn't get lost in my conversation. But, yeah, so I guess we'll stick with 15 minutes. I hope you guys had a good day. Peace out.